is going to be really, really different. It's going to be some shockers. Webinar I've ever done in my life since I've been doing this stuff. It's going to be 30 days. Each day there's going to be a webinar for the next 30 days. Today is day one. Each webinar will have a different component, and we will be talking strictly businesses. There are some businesses that I can break down in one session. There's some that'll take two. So essentially, as we get into this, you'll see how this is going to go, and this is going to be action oriented. Now, let me answer the big question before it's asked. Since this webinar is free, you don't get the replays for free. That's going to be a special deal. So if you make all of the webinars each day, you'll get the content, not holding anything back. But if you don't make it, you have to buy the content if you want it. And it's going to be some awesome, awesome stuff. So this is the way I run the webinars. If you have a question, you can just go ahead and put the question in the box and I will get it, because typically I don't like using two computers because sometimes there's a lag, and I won't miss the questions once I pop open the webinar and I start going through it. Because like I said, this is going to be really, really different. There's going to be some shockers in there. So there's a lot of people here that know me. There's a lot of people that don't. So with that, let's jump into it. I am so freaking excited. All right, this is Glyndon Cameron, and this is 30 days to $2,500. This is going to be really, really different. This is going to be an action-based webinar, and it's going to be a ton of information. And it's going to be fast-paced. And even today, there will be an activity for you. So this is watch, listen, learn, and do. And it's going to shock some of you. So be careful what you ask for. You may get it. So there's a lot of people here that know me, and there's a lot of people who've never heard of me. They just saw the thing on YouTube, and it's like, hey, why not? So essentially, who is that Glyndon dude? That's me in the picture, riding around in the vehicle. Essentially, really, really quick, I had a okay life. I had was in the military for 6 years and became a medical laboratory specialist, which allowed me to work in local hospitals and make good money during the recession. Did that, but I always kind of hustled on the side. My hustle was 2 and 3 jobs, and I tried to do some business things and they just blew up in my face. I got divorced, separated, ended up being homeless for a few weeks, living in my car, then moved to a boarding house. One day that's going to be a hell of a book. And just went through a period of 18 months of getting laid off 3 times. My life absolutely sucked big monkey balls. I mean, it was horrible. I couldn't stand myself. I was depressed. Then the 3rd time I got laid off, something shifted in me, and I think that's the day my hustler mindset woke up. That's the day that I just said I'll figure it out, and I've been figuring it out ever since. I was able to do in about 6 weeks what I couldn't do in almost 3 years. Secure a better paying job, get a great crib, get a car, and started really living a better life. Now, this is the big question. Anytime someone comes online, it's like, okay, yeah, you talk this, you say this. How can you help me? That's the big question, and it's a fair question. This is how I can help you. I have fucked up enough in life for 30 people. Romantically, professionally, business-wise, I have done everything wrong. And with that came a massive learning database. It's just, you can ask me a question about business. If I don't know, I can find out in 24 hours, because even if I don't have the answer, I have enough information to know exactly where to get the answer. Because sometimes you don't even know the right questions that you should be asking, which just keeps you behind. But the number one way that I can help you is impart to you all of this experience and all of these lessons that I had from starting 10 businesses. The first 5 failed. 5, business 6 through 10 being Conundrum Publishing / now Conundrum Media, have all been successful, and they've all been enough to support me and mine in a good lifestyle. And the thing is, all businesses have certain relatable elements. I don't care what you're doing. And we're going to talk about that. So I can give you enough information to help you get past that learning curve and not screw yourself and not lose a ton of money. And to be frank with you, even with my information, once you get into certain businesses, there's going to be your own learning curve after you get this information, because everything is different today. Everything is crazy today, and it's wonderful because you can now really do well in a very short period of time, a short period of time being 6 months to 18 months, where you create a business from scratch and you're paying the mortgage. You're paying daycare. You're buying carrots and apples for your little kids. This is the world we live in. And it's better, and this is just my opinion, I think even if you have a job, even if the job is good, I think you should still start a side business just in case. Because work as we know it is disappearing. And it's getting harder and harder to find jobs because they're disappearing due to automation. So you have a choice in this matter to actually be ahead of the curve, or like I like to say, the big penis in the sky. You could be riding the big penis, or the big penis could be riding you. So you have that choice. And if your life is great, wonderful. I still suggest that you start some side hustle, some business, because even if you don't need it, it's better to have the skills and not need them than to need them and can't get them. Because typically, two type of people come to me. Folks who are seasoned business people, they see that I've walked the walk and I know what I'm talking about. And then people who are like, lost my job and I need to make $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 in 90 days. Can you help me, Glyndon Cameron? No, I can't. If I had those kind of magic jelly beans, I would be charging $50,000 per. So that's me. That's how I can help you. Now we're going to jump into it. Like I said, this is going to be very, very different. There's going to be a lot of action. And, since this is day one, I'm not going to kill you, but it's going to get progressively harder because this thing is designed to make you successful. Now, with day one, we're going to talk about a lot of things that keeps people from starting businesses. Number one is fear. You don't have a talent problem. You have a fear problem. Fear of failure, fear of people talking about you. And I want you to look at the baby, the little girl, and that was once you. You didn't know anything, couldn't do anything, and was totally dependent upon someone for everything that you needed. Then day by day, you became more and more independent. You have to go back to that state of not being, dependent, but being fearless. At that age, you didn't know what fear was. You were just like, okay, that didn't work. I'm gonna keep doing, and you just kept going on. You have to give yourself that innocence that you can move forward. Because, and another thing that kills people is they think about the wrong thing. They think about failure. They think about people talking about them. They fear the opinions of other people. That stuff is like taking a wand to your battery, and this wand drains your battery. You need a fully charged battery to take on each day. Otherwise, it's a struggle. And the biggest struggle you have is the internal one, where you're like, do I want to be an entrepreneur? Do I want to be a hustler? Do I want to go to school? You have all of these things and they're pulling at you. And you're just like, what did I do? What did I do? And you're in a state of flux. The state of flux is going to create a problem for you, a big problem. And you have to start peeling down what are your core desires. Essentially, going back to me being laid off that third time, I was in a position where all the bullshit was stripped out of my life. It was like, it's either do this or do that. So in a really, to be fair to you, it was easy for me because I was at that point where my back was against the wall and I hit rock bottom. I mean, there wasn't a lot of options. It was like, you need to make something happen or something bad's going to happen to you. So when you get to that space, it's actually easier to come up. When you're comfortable and all of your wants are being met and your needs are being met, you don't have that, let me really, really elevate my thinking, elevate my game to be even more than I am. But I want you to think about what's holding you back and start punching those fears straight in the face. If it's your husband, Now, don't go pop your husband in the face physically, even though you might want to. If it's your wife, don't go pop your wife in the face. But sit down with that person from a position of truth and lay out your game plan. Because if you're married, you got to bring your spouse in. If they're like, no, 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 then you got to do whatever you need to do to keep your household happy, and then take whatever time you can to work on your hustle. Because as I said in the video that came up this morning, it took 5 years for my mom to come around. This is not going to be easy when you're dealing with people who have jobs only, and that's the only way that they understand how to construct income. So typically, the beginning is the worst because you're like, what am I going to do? How am I going to do this stuff? Now, this is day one, and then each day there's going to be more, because I understand from 4 years of giving webinars that too much information, too long of the webinar, people tend to drone out and miss the notes. So it's going to be quick, easy, and breezy, but we're going to do stuff. The goal is to make $2,500 in a week. And you know, like, whoa, Glyndon, whoa. You said that was supposed to be in a month. It's in a week. And once you get started, you will see that it is really, hold on. Okay, really easy to do. I know it sounds crazy. I'm using the E word for once. Now, this is the thing, because a lot of people are in that state of, what do? I have this ideal and I have that ideal. So what you're going to do is you're going to start 4 businesses, from scratch for newbies. And if you already have a business, you're going to ball out of control. Now, let's really talk about what is a business, because this is not going to be a situation of, hey, we're going to start an LLC. We're going to print up some business cards. Maybe you're going to go out and look at office space. No, we're not doing that shit. That is stuff that holds you back. What we're going to do in this space is create businesses or product, service, whatever you have, whatever that you want to do, whatever you want to do. And we're going to design it to earn income as quick as possible. That's called validating your business. If you have this ideal and you get together, say a prototype, or you get together the basics of the service, you got to go out and sell that to somebody. And if you can't sell that to somebody, you don't have a business. It's that simple. And once you sell it to someone, then you sell it to someone else, and you sell it to someone else, you start to get something very important, which is data, which you can build and go forward with. But if you can't sell, that is a fundamental answer to your quandary if do you have a business or not. Because if you can't sell anything, you don't have a business. And that's not to say your ideal may not be good. It could be a situation of you need to do more training and personal development of yourself. You may have to really learn how to be a salesperson. And with that, I'll tell you something. I am a salesperson now. I was not a salesperson when I started. I was that person that would make phone calls and set appointments to keep from going on appointments, because I was a scared little bitch of going and talking to someone I never met before and asking them for money. It was terrifying. I'll get on the phone and make all these appointments, and I go, and then another thing that happened when I was a salesperson, if someone let me in and they were friendly, I would cling to them like a puppy, because it's like, yeah, this is my best friend. No, I'm here to sell you something. I'm not here to be your best friend. I say all that to let you know, if you're not a salesperson, if you're not good at it, if you don't understand the sales cycle, these are things that you can learn. You can learn. You can go to YouTube, find your few people that you like their vibe, and just watch their videos and go out and put that stuff in practice, because I didn't know how to do any of this stuff when I started. I had no clue. It was all Greek, Asian, and Urdu to me. So you can learn. You can learn this stuff. It takes time, commitment, and dedication. So definitely that's it. Because the thing is, it's 30 days, but what I've learned is people need to be in the mode of, they got to do something. Because it's like, okay, I got all this information. It's in my head. The webinar was great. Yeah, I like it and everything. It was cool. But you're not really doing anything with the information. And that's the problem. You got to do something. So this is geared and designed for you're going to do something for your businesses every day. Every day, you're going to be doing something for your businesses. And I'm going to talk about business profiles. And I'm going to introduce you to some businesses you've never heard of. And I'm going to do one of those today. And it's going to blow your freaking mind. It's going to blow your freaking mind. Some of you are going to try to do that business because I thought about it myself because it's so sweet. But this is the big thing you have to get over. You got to come out of your business shell. Many of you are way smarter than I am. Way smarter than I am. I mean, it is like crazy. And it is amazing. Hold on one second. Okay. I have to check because sometimes, the webinar will cut off on me and then I start getting all these emails. But essentially, you got to come out of that fear shell. You really do, because that's your biggest issue. And I know you want to think, oh, it's the economy. Nobody's going to buy anything. I want you to think about something. If you went out of your house today, you passed businesses, right? And in those businesses, there was cars parked in front of them. And there was people going in and out. And wherever you went, all up and down the street, you saw these businesses, unless you live in a desolate area where everything's shuttered up. And people were buying and doing stuff and going to Target. And there's money in the economy. There's money. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, there's no money. No, there's money in the economy, and some of it has your name on it if you're big enough, bold enough to claim it. It's not your life. I grew up product of a single parent household. No, it's not that. It's you. It's you and the choices you choose to make. And you start making different choices, you can have a different life. It's not the world. It's not this global stuff. I see people, and there's a guy, and I'm not going to say his name because some of you know him, and he would just go on, Obama this, blah, 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 blah. This went on. Then one day someone said, you really need to just focus on your business. And he's like, you're right. So he stopped with all the rhetoric, and he had the best year ever when he focused on his business versus focusing on things he could not control. I don't know whatever your political affiliation is. I don't get into politics. I think they're all screwing us because they're all friends. After they retire, they're going on duck hunting trips and everything. They're like the best buds. But don't really get so caught up into, well, they're doing this and this. No. It's not screwing you. And this goes back to something else. If you're living in the United States of America and you understand the rule of law, having a business is the best thing you can do. The tax code, the law code are all designed for business owners and investors. They're not designed for the average American. You can have an income of $150,000 that's earned income and lose damn near 70 off the cuff. You can have an income from a business of $150,000, write down some stuff, buy some assets, and take home 100 and something G's and pay hardly any federal tax. Same money, different business structure. Now, before someone's like, hey, you're talking about no incorporation. No. That comes later. You want to incorporate off of the money that your business is making. That's what you want to incorporate off of. You don't want to use the cash in your pocket right now to incorporate your business. You want to create that prototype, you want to create that model, and you want to use the money derived from the sales of your validated business to incorporate your business. Because at that point, your business is self-sustaining. Even if it's making $500 a month, it's $500 a month you didn't have before. So you can take that $500 and then print up some business cards and then get a website and then incorporate. Because, say you only make $500-800, that's like 10 G's. Close, that's between like 6 to 10 G's. You could take all of that money and invest it in the business and grow it because the business is validated. It's a real business making real cash. So that's one of the things. But the fear, you got to work on the fear of failure, the fear of being rejected. That is the thing that's holding you back more so than anything else. Now, someone said they had pen and paper, and I was like, I'm glad you do because you're going to need it. Right now, if you don't have pen and paper, no problem. Go get it. Use your computer, use Word, use Pages, whatever you have. And I want you right now, because you know, see that, think fast, because that bull, imagine that bull is the big penis in the sky and it's coming for you. I want you to write down 10 business ideas right now. Just start, go. You got 5 minutes. Yes, we start the day. That's what I'm saying. This is real different. I'm smiling because I know some of you like, whoa, wait a minute. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, this whole thing, and like I said, you know, clock is ticking, but I'm going to keep talking because I'm on one dead space. But 10 business ideas, and it could be anything. Do not censure yourself. Don't go, well, no. Even, you know, something you thought of before, you can put that down. But write down 10 business ideas right now. I don't care if it's dog walking. I don't care if it's throwing snowballs at the devil. Something. Write them down. And I want you to think. Do not censor yourself. Don't go, well, that's stupid. No, write it down. This is to facilitate your creative process. Because there are people like, I don't have ideas. I don't know what to come up with. I want to just be on Amazon or eBay. No. There's so many more things out there that you can do to generate income for yourself and your family. So many things. And just, you know, write them down. Because what we are trying to do here is create a new paradigm for you. Many of you have heard of me from reselling storage auctions, but I do make money from storage auctions because of the knowledge, but I'm purely a digital person right now. I make 100% of my income online. I really don't push stuff on Craigslist like I used to. It's just, I had to make a decision. You know, it's like, okay, what are we going to do? We're going to take this business to the next level, or we're going to keep our foot in the resale business. And just for those of you who want resale, my daughter moved in with me recently, and I'm going to teach her how to do Amazon FBA. I'm going to teach her how to do Craigslist. I'm going to teach her how to do eBay. So that's going to be part of this course, and we're going to get that started next week. So for those of you who are really going to like stick with this, it's going to be a lot of real-time information because it's 2014. I would not do eBay the same way that I did eBay in 2006 and 2014. It makes no sense. There's too many changes, and they've actually made some things worse, and they've actually made some things easier. Craigslist, totally different ball game now. Craigslist has made a lot of changes. I don't know if you've noticed that you can put more information for SEO in your Craigslist ads. They just did something. It had to be between Wednesday and Friday. I was like, here's another thing. They're making these changes. But once again, we'll talk about that, show you what we're getting, showing what you're selling. Also, I'm going to get her set up with some wholesalers. I'll talk about that whole process of how to get set up with a wholesale. Now, at that point, if you are really going to, you know your business is something you like, you're going to get into it, because to get hooked up with wholesalers, you're going to need a business license. You're going to need a resale license at the minimum, resale certificate. But a lot of places will not sell to you unless you have the resale certificate, the business license. Some places will require a business card, and some places will require a lease. And they'll be on the application form, or you have a storefront, or you're selling it online. And there's some places, if you're selling online, they're not going to sell to you. So we're going to discuss that. That's why it's 30 days. It's a lot of freaking information, and it's just going to come back to you like a little bit at a time. But once it's all sexy and shiny and tight, it's going to be mind-blowing, because my goal is for her clock to start is for her to get up to $5,000 a month gross sales in 30 days. Because the title of this is $2,500 a month, but really, once you get your business ideal together, once you get your marketing together, make sure it's validated, you can do $2,500 in a week gross sales. That's what we're going to talk about. See, I told you. For those of you that are like, hey, yeah, this is totally different than anything I've done. Because if I put like 10,000 a month, people are like, no, that's too much. Do you know scientifically it's been proven that when a person experiences change that's more than 20%, they tend to freak out, whether the change is positive or not? Imagine your people that you've gone to their weddings and both the groom and the bride, That's supposed to be positive change, right? They're freaking out. It's like, what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, 5 minutes are up. So, how did it go? I know for those of you did it, because some of you didn't do it, but you could do it later. It was some of you got scared because I just threw it out at you. That's why I was like, think fast. Make it happen. Another thing about this course is it's designed to make you a person of action. There are many people that I've talked to. They're brilliant, great business plan. They're not people of action. It's just, well, I don't know. Well, I will talk to my friend who I helped start her cookie business. She is in the 6th month of her cookie business. She crossed consistently 1,500 gross sales. November was about 1,800. December was close to 2. This month, January, it kind of went back down to 14. And she's already up to 1,000 in February because she's listening to me. She's, because there are people at her job. It's like this guy at the NBA. It's like, well, this is what you need to do. And it's like, screw that. No, forget your LLC. Forget your business cards. Make those damn cookies and sell them. Slang them cookies. Slang them. Cookie slang and help. Slang them. And she listened to me and she started, talking to people. I said, go through your Facebook list first. Don't even create a fan page. What you want to do is start the money to come in, which gives you, like I just told you. Then she went, she just did her LLC. Now, what did I say? She's been in the cookie business 6 months. She just did her LLC last month. See what I'm saying? That LLC was funded by the cookies. Now, she has a clear extra G per month, free and clear, to do other stuff with. Business is paying for herself. She's got a job. And I told her, if you continue to do the things that I'm telling you, this cookie business income is going to exceed your job income. And she makes 90 G's a year. And she was like, I was like, yeah, it's about scale and economy. So that was a simple business started in her kitchen 6 months ago. She had a few things that didn't go well. She had a few outings. She didn't sell any cookies. It's like, don't worry about it. That happens. Just keep selling. I would go out there to support her, buy some cookies. And around the 3rd month, start clicking. She started making cookies. Because the thing is, you have to get your reps in. So those of you who did it, that did those 10 business ideas, one of those business ideas that you just wrote down might make you 100 G's this year. I know you're going, what? Really? Really? For real? For real? For real? For real? For real? Now, this is what, this is what I want you to do. For those of you who wrote, I know you all hustlers. You all wrote down the 10 ideas. What I want you to do when this webinar is over is to take one idea and try to sell it to someone today. Yes, today. I'm not kidding. Yes. Your goal is to get one sale today. Whatever you wrote down, one. And the thing is, you're going, Glyndon, well, what I wrote down is going to take... Nope. I am not letting you slip out of this. No. So you're going to say, well, I have to do pre-sale. You can do a pre-sale. And this, I'll even give you the pitch. It's like, hey, Ed, this is G, and I just came with this wonderful idea, and it's just going to be perfect for you. It's not done. So since it's not done, I'm going to charge $100, but since it's not done, I'm going to give you a sweetheart deal for real, of $25. So I'm going to do a pre-sale to you of $25. That's your goal. Take one of those ideas, whatever it is, service, whatever, you can pre-sell it. And I say that's another misconception. I've done this several times. You can sell products that you haven't even made yet. You can. You could take the pre-sale money to actually make the product. That's what Kickstarter is. I was doing Kickstarter before Kickstarter came to be. I wrote my first book. I promoted and was selling my first book before it was done. I did that 2009, early 2010. You can do it. So no excuse. Take one of those ideas, put it together, shape it up. If it's a recipe, cook, whatever, and you're going to call up your mama, your daddy, Fudo the dog, someone, and you're going to pitch them and you're going to sell them today. Yes, this is this kind of boot camp. We're going to be doing something action oriented every day, because when you do this for 30 days, you're going to become accustomed to being an action oriented person. You're going to be like, oh, dang. You're going to start to think differently. You're going to start to see opportunities that have been all around you that you missed because you weren't action oriented. You were just like, whatever, rub my belly, drink a beer. No. So that's your challenge for the day when this is over. Now, this is the thing that's going to blow your mind. And I got some insight on this one. And this is to help you expand and explore your horizons. You got to change your idea of what a business is. This woman, who's a professional cutler, does not sleep with them. There is no happy ending. Makes $30 per half hour, $60 per hour, $300 overnight, and she is booked 2 weeks in advance. She is a cuddle bunny. This business that she started, because she had she was like doing temp stuff. She was a fitness trainer, a personal trainer. She said this business that she created locally in Portland, walking around handing out flyers, created some business cards. She didn't even do this on the internet until later. Her website isn't even done. She's so busy making money. What did I tell you? You don't have to do the website. You don't have to print the business cards. You have to make money. That's what you got to do. You have to make money. You got to make money. Her website isn't even up, and she's been getting exposure in, news media for months. And she's so busy cuddling at $60 per hour that she doesn't even have time to get her website together. I want you to do the math here. She cuddles 4 hours a day. That's $240 a day. She cuddles 5 days a week. That's $1,250. If she's got an overnight in there, she could be easily at 6 to 10 G's a month. And she's got residual income in the cuddle business. She has people who see her 2 to 3 times a week. That's right, boys and girls. She's cuddling for dollars. Now, I'm bringing this to you because remember those 10 ideals that I said, don't censor yourself? Who in the room would ever thought that someone could make, let's just say she's making $1,250 a week. That's that's $60,000 a year cuddling. Cuddle. She ain't working an 8-hour day. Say she's real adventurous and she's working an 8-hour day. That's $500 a day. Cuddling. I keep saying that because I put this in here because I don't want you to censor yourself and go, well, Glyndon, that's really a dumb idea. No, you're telling yourself, you could have that ideal that could be the equivalent of this cuddling thing. Do you understand what she's done? And the thing is, she's got to repeat customers. That is key. And she's going to open up a storefront, which I think is a little premature because she doesn't really need the storefront because, it's going to be a place where people can come in and cuddle. I would keep it what she's doing. If I was her business mentor, I would say, keep doing what she's doing. Operate like a switchboard. I mean, essentially, she needs to model the escort business. No storefront. Essentially, what she can do is go out, put an ad for other cuddlers, split 50-50 split, and set them up. And at that point, she becomes a booking agent. So she's got 10 cuddle bunnies out there, right? Making $30 an hour. So that's $300 an hour. Say she has her girls working 4 hours a day. That's $1,200 a day. It's 15 G's a month. And she ain't even cuddling. All she's doing is answering the phone. Do you see how this works now? We live in the time that here's this woman who was pretty much failing in life, became a cuddle bunny, and is going probably, when she gets it all together, is going to make 6 figures. Yes, now here's my insight. I am a very touchy-feely person. And I have an organic, well, yeah, I guess organic cuddle buddy that we have an agreement. We're good friends, and just there was never enough for us to go that far romantically, but we're real friendly. It's like, I could call her up and like, man, I had a fucked up day. Can I come over or you come over here? Spend the night, cuddle. No sex. No sex. It's like rent a wife for me. That's what I call her. I call her my rental wife. And typically, that's the deal. Like if she's got a boyfriend or I got a girlfriend, then that's off the table. But when we're both single, it's on. So that's why I know this can work. I know it can work. Because if you're honest with yourself, everyone needs human touch, unless you just become so demonstrably altered bad to bad relationships or a dysfunctional family life. But essentially, you can turn anything into a business. Anything. That's why I said don't put any blinders on yourself. And the part of the course is I'm going to bring even more stuff like this to you. There's a lot of esoteric businesses out there. There's things that you can do to make money. There's things that you can do to really, really rock out. When I started Conundrum Publishing, then I switched the name to Conundrum Media because it was more suited for what I do. I didn't know what I was doing. I wrote that first book, and everything that happened after that came because I wrote the first book, and I was like, okay, that doesn't work, and this works. Because when you start, and that's what I'm saying, forget the business cards, forget the incorporation, forget all that stuff. Just get started. You're going to learn more about your business than just sitting there and planning. You should plan your business after you get some metrics. After, tonight when you make that pitch like, yo, Ed, yeah, I'm selling these cuddles. Yeah, I got a cuddle business going on. When you do that, you get information that can help you formulate a real business plan. Because I have this saying, most business plans just made off the cuff are like Moby Dick, great works of fiction. They're just assumptions. But when you go out and you actually do the business, it's not so much assumption. It's like, okay, well, if I put up X ads on Craigslist, I get X amount of response. You get what's called data that you can make better decisions with. At this point, it's like, okay, you do this, you get your metrics, and you can do a quant. And next thing you know, you're making forecasts, and like, okay, you're real close, or you're going a little bit over, which lets you know that your information is good and your methodology for handling the information is good. And we're going to talk about all that stuff. But essentially, the first thing that you should do is come up with a business idea, validate it by selling it, getting some cash, getting some ducats, getting some dinero, getting a little loot in your life. That's what you're going to do. So what I'm going to do is check out the questions. Let's see. We got, hey, April. Hey, DD. Sure thing. Thanks to Mark. That's a bunch of stuff. Okay. I'll talk about that at the end, Raymond. These webinars will be at the same time every day, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. I am live. Let's see. There should be audio. I actually see the thing moving and people are still here, so that might be on your end. A week is good for Mark. Okay. That could be, Shayna, that could be on your side. Blow the mind. All right, I'm blowing the mind. All right, Michael's been writing. Greg said it was easy. Gandalf's like, I got my 10 ideas down. All right, like t-shirts. All right, good. Let's see. That's why I'm here. This is from Dwayne. Exactly. That's why I'm here. Employed for 33 years at Sane Corp, and now things are spiraling down. Not waiting until I'm laid off for the 21st century buggy whip factory. Pretty much. How do you sell an online product without having it created? Okay, I'm going to stop there and actually tell it to you. What you do is you get a basic cover template and stuff because it's online, so you don't actually need a physical model or anything unless it's something you need a physical model. So you go ahead and you get your product, and then you find out a group of people that want it or you think want it, and you go to them. And you go to a small group first. And it's like, hey, this is Glyndon. I have product X. And like you offer it for maybe $1 or $2, something really cheap, and then see how many people buy it. And then you get feedback from that. And then you make it and you still sell it. Because what you do, actually, have you ever bought a book before it was released? Go on Amazon, it's like, yeah, the launch date is up. That's a pre-sale. A lot of businesses do it all the time. Some people are not getting live feed. Some people are. I wonder what's up with that. How much for the replay videos? I'll let you know. Let's see. Okay. Some people are not getting audio, but we'll talk about that later. My goal, profit 20. Now, this is Richard. Profit $25,000 a month. Search art first each day. Call resellers to get them buy chairs. Yeah, we had talked about that. He's got a lot of stuff going on. This is Manny. I actually had a Kickstarter page set up, but I never did anything with it because I freaked out. That happens a lot. It happens a lot. I told you I knew the cuddling thing. I knew it. That's why I put it in there. April, the cuddling idea has really opened my eyes to think further outside the box. I know for a fact because of my color buddy that, and I've had a few over the years because, just to be real, sometimes you want to be with somebody, but you don't want sex. You just want a soothing, comforting person to be with you. And it's real hard to find. I mean, straight up, sex is easy to get, but to get affection and cuddling with someone you really want it from, that's challenging. So I can see why she's booked solid. Easy. This is from Chris. I get disability from the military plus blah, blah, blah. When should I incorporate? I will lose some benefits when I earn income. Actually, I got 3 friends who own medical disability, and one of them has a $120,000 job. And he still gets all his benefits. Talk to the people who are giving your benefits because none of them have lost anything, and they all have jobs. Okay, when should you incorporate? I think I answered that. Get whatever you're doing, start making some money, and see if that ideal is worth incorporating. And then use the money that you make from the ideal to incorporate. Tamara, is social media a good place to get started selling? Yes, it is. Bingo. Good example. Same as your dollar challenge you used to get us interested in being here today. Proof of concept. Actually, yeah, that actually brought some people here. That's funny. Greg, thanks to UG, I started my mission in April 2013. Vodkas, Micro J sites, cool. Let's see. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that, and I'm going to answer the questions because essentially another thing is to try to keep these at an hour because I've done enough webinars. I know that people start to tune out, get tired if they have kids that's like, mommy, daddy. So I'm not going to keep you forever. Let's see. This is from Jelini. I have 3 books that are in various stages of completion. Can I sell some of the finished chapters in advance? This is what you do with that. You start a blog. You start putting a chapter and split up into several blog posts. Then you develop a readership. And when people start like, hey, I like it, then you add a little bit more, add a little bit more. You can put the whole book on a blog. And I'm going to tell you how it works. And they can read it. But see, this is the thing. When someone goes to a web page and there's blog posts, very few people are going to have the determination to sit there and read the whole thing. You can tell them the whole book's on the blog, and 99.8% of the people won't read it. But then you package it off in a book, make it clean and easy to handle. Then you can sell the same information to them that you gave for free. Crazy, I know, but I've done it. This is Gandalf. How do you avoid being diffused and focused on just one ideal? I seem to always fall into the multitasking and jack all trade traps. Create a daily task list. 6 things and do number 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. You can still do a lot and it gives you way more focus. I've never read a book on internet marketing yet. I need to. That's on my list of things to do. I can't make any recommendations. This is great. You told me to write down everything I can do on paper and that shit. Where it does. This is proven. Writing your goals down increases the chances of them happening like 1,000%. The simple act of writing them down. It makes you more accountable. Okay, this is from Dwayne. For those of us working 1, 2, or 3 jobs, how do we choose what to ask and what to focus on when the wolf is at the door? Now, could it sell some wolf pets? That wouldn't be so bad. All right, number one, I'm going to give you a triage. Which job gives you the most money? That's one you keep. Then whatever, you go with the one that gives you the most money. I guess maybe the one that's easy. I don't know your situation, but say one job's like an hour to get to, but it gives you the most money. But if you got rid of that job and kept the other two, you wouldn't be traveling an hour. Then you have to factor in how much did you spend for gas? Because like a lot of people don't actually know the true cost of their car. Like they say, my car payment's $450. No, it isn't. Your car payment is $450 plus the insurance says $100. That's $550 plus maybe X amount maintenance. Your car payments. A lot of people who have a decent car, their car payments like $600 to $900 a month when you include the gas, the maintenance, and the insurance. But they just look at the actual payment to the finance company. Everything is part of your car payment. So you got to do that kind of analysis. Jennifer, what if you don't have a product to sell, but instead you have information? Didn't you see Wall Street, Gordon Gekko? Information is some of the most valuable commodity that we know of. That's a product. I'm making money off shit I haven't done since 1993. I'm telling you, this new NLF Lightstar is great. This is James. When do you start to look for help with your small business? When you're working 80 hours a week and you still can't get it done. Okay, this is tomorrow. One more thing. I want to go into a plus size clothing biz selling before I made a serious issue about this. Now I'm laughing because James actually made a post today in the group and he talked about this. Plus size clothing is a hot business to be in. If you're sexy and cute with it, it even gets hotter. I know, I know, right? That's funny. If you've been doing, all right, this is Chris, doing the storage auction thing full time since December 2004. What's killing me is the truck rentals. When do you think I should get my own truck? You really haven't been doing it that long, and you're in the midst of tax season too, so that can be a little rough. If you're full time and you don't have a job, I would say trade your car in and get yourself a box truck ASAP. And then you since you get the efficiency of having a box truck, and try to get some that is even, and you're not making big payments, and then later on get the car again. Yep. Okay. James, last month I made $600 on big girl clothing, so it's a valid concept. Okay, so we're at 4:48. Bunch of questions answered. Not gonna keep everybody here forever and ever. And this is the deal, because I knew people would want it. I'm doing this. I'm going to create a special tab in the Hustler Mindset Project, the online video, and the recorded sessions and the special Q&As and stuff will be there. So there's going to be 2 options. $199 for the forever, and then whatever else I put in there, you'll get that. And then there's a monthly plan that I will send out to. You'll get links to this stuff once the webinar is over, and it'll be $29.99 per month. So there's a monthly session, and see, this is the reason I'm doing it like this. If you do what I'm telling you to do, and you're really earnest about it, paying for this is gonna be nothing. And also, this is the deal, because after the first week, the price of all this stuff is going up. I mean, this is just a 24-hour, because tomorrow's is going to be great content. There's going to be more, and then for the people who buy the recorded sessions, there's going to be special webinars. I may do like a 4 o'clock webinar, and then I'll do maybe a 9 o'clock webinar that night. So it's definitely going to be different. But everyone will get that. I love my car. You're killing me. All right, I'm gonna put this serious question to you. What's more important, your car or your business? Don't take too long to answer, because if you treat your business right, your business will treat you right. And a car, nice car is just nothing. I mean, all right, I'm gonna tell you a really crazy story.